Hello, good Vach. Baruch Hashem, Rosh Chodesh, Nisan, Rosh Chodesh to everyone. And tonight is also the Rebbeino's birthday. Baruch Hashem. Just take a quick look here. So, what we're going to do, Mr. Hashem, we're going to start with we're going to start with a Maisa about the Rebbe Elimelech. It's an Indian to say one of Maisa about him, almost a Shabbos. Definitely auspicious for Shabbos, auspicious for the time month. The same, it's a Maisa Baal Shem Tov. It's also the same. And we'll let us see the Haran Bezat Hashem. It's because Rebbe has to say it for us. So, the Inyon Tefillah, it is the way of Maran Baal Shem HaKodesh was always to make his way to this, to speak to Kodesh Baruch Hu, like a person is speaking to a really good friend, and to daven Shachris Vasikin in the winter, in the summer, and also all his holy students, all his Talmidim, they woke up Chatzos every single night. And also the third and fourth generation were very careful in waking up Chatzos. And this is what the way things used to be by the Rebbe Elimelech. And it is said in the Sefer Sha'ar Gilgulim, the new Sha'ar Gilgulim, Chelek Beis, it was printed by the son of the Tiferet Shlomo of Radomsk, and this is what he said. Is I heard a few times from Kvod Adoneinu, Morenu, Rabbeinu, Zer Tzadik Livracha, Rebbe Elimelech, that warned all the Chaverim that listened to him on this evening of Chatzos. And he was very vociferous, very emphatic about the new people, the people that just came around, that started leading people to be awake until Chatzos, like until an hour, 2 hours after Chatzos, and then they would sleep. And he said that it's wrong. He said, we used to sleep from the beginning of the night until Chatzos. Everything was closed. And he said there's no elevation to any Torah and Tefillah to the Shemaim except on the Chatzos. And so we say here, this is, it is known that Rebbe Elimelech did not see anyone after Maariv, until after Chatzos. And he says it's not an auspicious time to give the proper advice. It is also, he says, even though it is brought from Rebbe Elimelech that there is no elevation to the Torah and Tefillah before Chatzos. He says, still, Rebbe Yitzchak used to say, this is a Sicha from Rebbe Yitzchak Bender, Zichrono Levocha. So I don't know if the Rebbe Elimelech used to behave that way when he was a bocher. It might be when he was a bocher, before he got married, he would behave differently. He says, besides that, a bocher, yeshiva bocher, that wakes up Chatzos in a way that basically takes him away from the yeshiva, he says his avodah has no shlemus. It's piercing, it's just showing off. And it is also known about the Zehirus to daven Shachris on time. it is known, Talmid Baal Shem, you were very, very, very careful about that. And obviously, specifically not to daven after, Kriyat Shema and Tefillah. And also the generation afterwards were very careful. And this kind of caution was also by the Rebbe Elimelech. And it said, it was this Zehirus, this kind of caution, was seen by the Choyz of Lublin. He's the Talmud of Rebbe Elimelech, Sus again Aleinu. The Talmud of the Choyz were careful about it, except the Yehidi HaKodesh from Peshischa, that he was the only one to daven later. And it says that the Koshin Samagid, he said about this particular mistake. He says this Lashon, it says Dom Salatama, it resembled the Tamar. It means the Kavana was good, but the Maisa was not. He says, obviously, the Kavana of all the Gedolim is only for the good. And he said about the Berditchev Erov, the Berditchev, he would start his davening immediately in the time that was allowed to daven. Now, because he worked so hard, and his dvekus was so hard in the tefillah, until he got to Shmoneh Esrei, he was already after Zman tefillah, and he would apologize for that. He says, "I'm standing to daven," he said, in the time where it is allowed, and I get into dvekus, I get connected to Hakadosh Baruch Hu, and the mitzvah of the davka boy, to adhere to him, adhere to Hakadosh Baruch Hu is midoraisa. So I can't stop myself. I can't tear myself from the dvekus. And still, there were other Gdolim did not agree with him. Ad Kan. And he says, the Rebbe Luzo, the son of Rebbe Melech of Lizhensk, was praising his mother, Rabbonis, that she would wake his father, Rebbe Elimelech, and she used to turn to him. He says, Rebbe Elimelech, how is sleep? I mean, how can you enjoy sleep when there's such decrees on Am Yisrael? Just get up and daven and pour your discourse before your Creator to have Rahman on them, and so forth and so on. Again, I mean, what can one say about the Rebbe Elimelech? I mean, it's not it's beyond our pay grade. The tzitkas, the kedusha, the level that we can't even begin to fathom. Sus again, Aleinu, B'ezrat Hashem will have a great month, and Chag Kosher v'Sameach. Okay, now we're moving on to the birth of the Koshin Tzamagid B'Sipur Baal Shem Tov. It was Shalei Shabbat Kodesh. Baal Shem Tov was sitting with his Talmidim, and maybe after Kiddush, he smiled a wide smile. Then he sat by the table, he smiled again. Then he waited a little while, and he smiled again. Talmidim were very, were amazed, but, they wouldn't ask. So they asked Wolf Kitzes, his Talmud, to ask him. So at the time, the Baal Shem Tov used to smoke his pipe, doing his kavonas and whatever. He would ask him what happened on Shabbos. So much Shabbos, he came to him and says, why did he laugh? Shem Tov says, I'm going to show you what it is that caused this laughter. And immediately, he ordered his driver, Russian driver, to tie the horses to the wagon, told all the Chevraya to get on the wagon, and when they started going without knowing obviously where they were going. It's a very famous anhogah. The Baal Shem Tov used to travel Kfis Saderech. And the trip took all night long. In the morning, they got to the town of Koznitz, and the Baal Shem Tov with his Talmidim, they all stayed by the Parnas HaChodesh. After Shachris, the Baal Shem Tov asked that they should call over Shabsai. He was the bookbinder. So Parnas HaChodesh says, what, do my master have this old man, he's a Chinami, he's an honest person, but he's a very simple man. He's not a Ben Torah at all. Shem Tov says, nevertheless, bring him over. Now, when the bookbinder came to Baal Shem Tov, he said, call his wife also. And she came too. So the Baal Shem Tov told Reb Shabbos, said, tell me, what did you do last Shabbos? But I'm telling you, tell me the truth and nothing but the truth. So Reb Shabbos said, I'm not gonna lie. I'm telling you, I'm not gonna hide anything. He says, and if I send, I'm asking for Rabbeinu to give me tshuva. He says, all my entire life, I always made a living out of binding books. As long as I had koyach, Baruch Hashem, I had plenty of parnasa. And on Thursday, I would already buy all the Shabbos needs. And if Shabbos already finished, I went to shul, says Shir Hashirim, Tikkun Shabbos. And I would stay in the shul until after the Leil Shabbos. But now, he said, as I'm older, I don't have koyach, to do malacha as I would. And, me and my wife are, living a very concentrated living. I can't do everything that I need, to do by Thursday. But this mitzvah of going to shul, Erev Shabbos, before noon, I don't let go. He says, the last time, Erev Shabbos, the time came, I didn't have a penny for Shabbos. I saw that there's no way I can get Socha Shabbos. And since all my days, I never asked anybody for any favors, I decided I'm not going to ask anybody at this state as well. Now, it's better that I should fast on Shabbos, he said, than to receive the gift of flesh and blood. And I told my wife, even the neighbors will feel, will realize that we have absolutely nothing. We want to give her challahs and fish or flesh. She should not agree. Don't accept anything. But Hashem, whatever it is, decreed from Shemayim, this is what we'll accept. He says, I didn't leave my house until I mamish made my wife swear that she's not going to do it. She's not going to accept anything from anybody. And I went to shul, and I stayed there for a long time. I didn't come home with all the mispalim, so nobody will ask me why there's no candle burning in my house or whatever it is. It says, and by the time that I went to shul, my wife cleaned up the house, and she cleaned the dust from all the little nooks and crannies. She found an old coat that she lost some years ago. And on that coat, that beged, there were pure silver buttons. So immediately she went to the jewelry maker. She sold the buttons and went to buy challah and flesh and meat, whatever. And Baruch Hashem, she was able to prepare everything L'chavot Shabbos Kodesh. In the evening, after everybody left the house, I also went to my house and I saw candles are burning. I said, she probably, could not stand the pressure, and she took, something from people. And I went into the house and I saw the table is set with all good. She says, if I'm going to say something that will hurt one, I'm going to disturb her, like the Shabbos. So I held on and I made kiddush and wine, my hands, the moitzi and the fish. And then I said to my wife in a very soft way, well, maybe it seems like you won't be able to accept, the bad, but she didn't finish my words. He says, do you remember that garment with the silver buttons that I lost a few years ago? He said, of course I remember. He says, well, today when I cleaned the house for Shabbos, I found it. So the silver, I sold the silver buttons and to the jewelry maker, and the money, I used the money to buy Shabbos. When I heard this, I started crying. I sang the Kodesh Baruch Hu, and I could not hold up. I got up from the table and I danced with my wife for a whole hour. After eating the soup, again, I was so taken over with that. Again, I got up and I started dancing with her again. And the same thing happened after, the main course. Bekitza, 3 times I danced with my wife from Simcha. But the Kodesh Baruch Hu gave me the pleasure to have an Einik Shabbos from his hand and not to enjoy anybody else's generosity. So now Rav Shach said that the Baal Shem Tov is, if I sin, so let me know what it is I can do to atone for that. Whatever it is you say, I'll do. The Baal Shem Tov told his Talmidim, he said, when Rav Shach the bookbinder danced, it says all the Pamala Shel Ma'ala was dancing and singing with him. That's why I was laughing as well. About Baal Shem Tov turned to Rav Shach and he says, what do you want? Do you want to live the rest of your days in wealth and honor, or do you want to have a son now at old age? They had no children. So the wife said, we're already old. And I says, how long, we have to live, 120 years. What do we need? Wealth and honor. B'ezrat Hashem, the best thing is that we will have an Elech son. Hashem told me, B'ezrat Hashem, you will have a son as Hashem next year. You'll have a son and call him after my name, Israel. And he will light for you in the Shemayim very much. And please let me know, when the son will be born, so I'll contact the bris and I will be the Sunday. And that's the way it was. The next year she gave birth to a son that years later was known as the Gadol Ador, the Heilige Koznitzer Magid. Schusot again Aleinu, Kol Yisrael Amen. Not Hashem, with his schus, all the schus of all these incredible tzaddikim, not Hashem, we will have incredible chodesh. I want to dedicate, the learning we're doing tonight, the Sichos from tonight, first of all, the memory of our friend Moshe ben Tzvi Hirsch. And you have a full shlemo for Esther Tamima Bas Dina Idol and Oded ben Chana and Moshe ben Pesia and Moshe ben Chasiba and everybody from Klal Yisrael at Hashem that need refuah any way, shape, or form at Hashem will have refuah and Yeshuas because of all these incredible tzaddikim. So let's go with. Here we go with Sichos Haran. And this is Sicha 269. Rabbeinu says, concerning the bilbulim, the confusions that confuse people in his avodah. Now, obviously what we're talking here is people who are busy, who are into avodas Hashem. We're not talking about people who are not interested in avodas Hashem. If you're already into it, it says sometimes it seems, a person gets confused. They don't know they can decide. He seems maybe he should do this, maybe he should have it like this, or maybe he should have, he should have tanesim, maybe he should get this shir or that shir or whatever. And then it seems to him that, I shouldn't have done this. I should have done another way. He says sometimes people get greatly confused and thrown off kilter of these things. And so Rabbeinu says, what do you need to confuse yourself? How do you do whatever you do? Whatever you do, you do. The main thing is don't do bad. Chas v'sholom. I mean, This kind of eitzah is so necessary. It's so incredibly necessary. We all need to do it. We all need to know it. We all need to understand it. When you get into it's a klal godel of Elis Hashem. If you're more into it, you're less into it. Don't get thrown off by the fact that, I should have done this, or I should not have done that. Maybe I should do this, maybe I should do that. Maybe I should learn this, maybe I should learn that. Is it better than doing this minion or that minion, or doing this or that? The main thing is do. Whatever you do, you do. Just stay away from that. The common sense that Rabbeinu is telling us. I mean, we're looking at, remember there's one years ago, there's a Breslov Chassid, there was a big Elchid. He used to walk around, with his eyes covered, and his Talmidim were guiding him around. So there was another Jew. There was that sort of like, made fun of him, so leading him, this and that. It's like didn't take it seriously. And I was thinking about this. Why look down upon the avodah of somebody that decides to guard his eyes, and he has Talmidim with him? They're leading him with his eyes closed. Why make fun of it? The Chozeh Lublin used to do that. The Chozeh Lublin. It's not the Chozeh Lublin. He said, yeah, but the Chozeh Lublin also would not have become the Chozeh Lublin if he didn't do that. The Chozeh Lublin became the Chozeh Lublin after doing that. Before he did that, he didn't do it. People think, the tzaddikim of the previous generation, of the previous generations, that they were tzaddikim from the moment they were born, and everybody recognized that they were like, shining jewelry, and for sure, people don't realize the Rebbe of Zisha, for Anipoli, when he was young, they used to call him the Meshigan Melamed, the crazy Melamed. The Pinchas of Koretz, but they said he wouldn't talk to anyone. But they held him that he's Bechlal crazy. Today you say Zisha, wow. You said Pinchas of Koretz, wow. I mean, when they were young, didn't have the brand name, didn't have the title. Everybody thought that they were crazy. Okay, but over time, then people realize what they've become. So you're making fun of somebody who's doing the avodah because it still doesn't have the moniker of brand name tzaddik. I mean, what kind of? But at the same time, this is the avodah of people, certain people that can walk on the edge of a knife. It's not our avodah. Our avodah is you do what you do. You do the best you can. You accept yourself for what you are. You chazik yourself in emunas tzaddikim. Just stay away from bad. Stay away from bad. It could be a bad thought. It could be a bad look. It could be whatever it is. Just stay away from that. And that's it. Don't go looking for chumras or for different. Shem Yazov is that Hashem. First of all, I want to wish me, you, whoever it is that sees it, that Hashem, I get Chodesh, that Hashem will be Zoche to a Chag Kosher v'Sameach b'Zat Hashem, and clean from all chometz. Interesting, just To finish off with a certain Nikuda, the Rav in the shul that I went to down today said, it's Rosh Chodesh, Parshas Chodesh we're reading it. The Baruch Hu says, Chodesh is Rosh Chodoshim. That is the first and only Rosh Chodesh that Kodesh Baruch Hu said, which is the first Chodesh Nisan, the Mitzrayim. This is how the Chodesh is going to be. But it says from then on, the pursuing Chodoshim will all be determined by Beis Din, by Re'iyah. People see the Levanon, and they see the moon, and they see where the moon is born, and they come to Beis Din. Beis Din declares it's a new Chodesh. Now this has serious ramification, la halacha, serious ramification, la halacha. That the psak of Beis Din supersedes nature, and obviously when somebody is bar mitzvah and he was born, let's say in Adar, right? And he's already 13, and then Beis Din decide to be me'abed chodesh to make another Adar. So is he 13 or is he not? Is he chayav mitzvos deraisa or not? All these things, la halacha is if Beis Din was me'abed chodesh, he's not chayav deraisa. I mean, this is tremendous inyanim that are depending on that. It means that Am Yisrael are above the law, they're above nature, they're above time. Avram Avinu would not have children. But the Baruch Hu said, get out of your natural mindset. Avram Avinu was the greatest astronomer that ever lived. I mean, he knew the source of every single letter that comprised everything. Sefer Yetzirah is attributed to Avraham Avinu. If you just open it up and it'll blow your mind away of what kind of giant he was. Baruch Hu said, let go of it. Avram cannot have children. Avraham can have children. He took him out above time, above nature. So comes the question, why does Am Yisrael need to be above time? Why is it such an incredible deal that they have to be above time? What does it give? What does it do for them? And it seemed to me that the answer to this is very simple. And it's really not complicated. We are supposed to do tshuva. The world was created that in advance, Kadosh Baruch Hu knew that we will sin. Before the world was created, it was already known. Kadosh Baruch Hu knows everything. Creation, before creation, during creation, after creation, everything is one by Kadosh Baruch Hu. In order to be able to do tshuva, our essence has to be beyond time. Because what is tshuva? You do tshuva something that you already did, but it's done, it's finished, it's over. If your essence is within time, how can you ever do tshuva? It's done. Maybe you can get a second chance, okay, but you can't, transform the essence of what was done. Tshuva miyira, makes the things that people did advertently as if they did it this inadvertently. And if it's tshuva me'ahava, the person does tshuva because he loves the Kodesh Baruch Hu, he says the thing he did wrong becomes schus. It becomes a plus. It becomes a mitzvah. How can you do that? Within the realm of time, you can't do that. You have to be above time. So it's not for nothing that the instance that personifies that Inyan Am Yisrael is beyond time is Rosh Chodesh. Because Rosh Chodesh is the Chodesh of Tshuva. This is on Chatas that we bring on Rosh Chodesh. Kodesh Baruch Hu says, Aviu alai Chatas. Kodesh Baruch Hu says, bring Chatas for me that I have diminished the moon. So Rabbeinu says, this is the opening for us to do Tshuva. Because otherwise, how can we do Tshuva before Kodesh Baruch Hu? Kodesh Baruch Hu is perfect. Kodesh Baruch Hu, his Rachmanis did something Keviyochel that he is regretting. Okay, now we have a face that we can also regret, which means the Rosh Chodesh is the very essence of doing tshuva. Here, so that's Mela. Rosh Chodesh depends on Beis Din that signifies the fact that Am Yisrael are beyond time and place. Baruch Hashem, so that means that we need to use time and place to put it to good use. And tshuva, B'ezrat Hashem, that is beyond time and place. Because Baruch Hu left Chodesh, and Afer and Kosher Pesach, and B'ezrat Hashem will be Zecher Chodesh, B'Nisan Hasidim Ligoel, B'ezrat Hashem will see the Geula Shlem, B'ezrat Hashem, and B'ezrat Hashem, B'nei Misamegdos, Miram Yamin, B'ezrat Hashem. For us and for Klal Yisrael, Kol Tov, and Adin Chodesh Neged Voch. Tzlacha.